Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. not only have the Pacers completed their best finish in the regular season in program history, they're looking to do something else here tonight that they've never done in program history, which is get past the first round of the USA South Conference Tournament. Welcome into the Pacers Sports Network here at Herman Athletic Center on the small campus of William Peace University right here in downtown Raleigh, the capital of our great state, North Carolina. This is your voice of the Pacers, Will Dalton, on the call as always here at home. And we got a big one in store for you tonight as it's round one of the USA South Conference Tournament. It'll be your William Peace Pacers, the number 2 seed in the East, taking on the number 3 seed in the East, Methodist College. And a big night in store for you. We have the Pacers come into this one following a 14-11 overall finish in their regular season, 12-5 in conference play in the USA South. They wrapped up their season with a 7-game winning streak, 8-4 here at the Herm so far this season. Last game came last weekend, just a handful of days ago, against Greensboro, where they won on Senior Day, wrapping up the regular season 92-83 on that win, as John Burwell led the Pacers in scoring with 26 points. Methodist, on the other hand, they come into this one on a 1-game win streak to wrap up their season just a handful of days ago in a win at Berea, 83-73. They finished their regular season 15-10 overall, 11-6 in USA South play, and a really, really close bit of differences here between these two teams, as your Pacers are number 2 and Methodist is number 3. Both teams out onto the floor, and we're ready to get rolling here from the Herm. Tip is up, and it'll be in the hands of Methodist first, as Mitchell receives the ball first off the toss and quickly hands it off to Burden, the guard here for Methodist in his junior season. Now a pump fake from the right side as Dearman goes up and gets blocked, and now it's Pacer ball. Big defensive play here early by the Pacers, as that gets a nice surge of energy through the Pacer crowd here in Act 1, here in this first round game between the Pacers and Methodist. Monarchs of Methodist rocking their green away uniforms. Pacers rocking their typical white ones at home, and Burwell gets it on the board first for the Pacers, 2-0. Burwell immediately following his bucket, and the Pacers' first bucket of the game, guarding the ball handler here, Burden, as he drives up the right side. Good defense from Bryant to force the pass. Now up to the top of the key after some ball movement for the Monarchs. Down low to Mitchell, now back out to Manley. Manley goes up, and good bucket for Manley, as Methodist answers with a first bucket of the night of their own, 2-all, here with just over a minute ticked off the clock in the first half. As Burwell gets it to Tyrell Jr. a 3, the first one of the night. In the first one made, Tyrell Jr. puts the Pacers up 3, 5-2 with 18:38 to go. Dante Burden picks up his dribble. This one tipped out of bounds. Tyson Sellers gets a hand on it and tucks it in to Garen Dearman. That'll be Pacer ball. And now a substitution here early is Kevin McClellan Jr., sophomore guard from Stedman, North Carolina, will check into the game here for Garen Dearman, who was the last to touch it there and turn it over there for Methodist. You feel some high energy in this building here tonight as the Pacers having their best season in program history, and Burwell continues it right there. He opened things up for the Pacers, and he puts another bucket on the board. Pacers up 5, 7-2, and now a whistle. As now they're going to say that's a foul on Cam Ferguson. Got to be honest, I didn't see the foul, but whistle blows regardless, and with 18:10 to go in the first half, Pacers lead at 7-2 with a lot of high energy here early. And you can expect to see that the whole game and hear that as this pass goes in to Mingledorf, and a quick handoff to Burden. Burden guarded by Burwell. Pick from Manley. Handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell started things off for the Monarchs, winning the tip. And now he puts a bucket on the board right there, cutting the Pacer lead to just 3, 7-4. Around a pick from Tyrell Jr. Kickoff to Ferguson. Ferguson kickoff to Tyrell Jr. Now to Sellers. Sellers pump fake. Three-pointer from the left side. No good, too strong. But Bryant with the rebound. Ferguson, deep one. Still too strong on back-to-back three-point attempts there for the Pacers. And 7-4, still your score was 17-19 on the board. Here in the first half, Dante Burden. Pass out to McClellan Jr. Now up with it. Manley misses. Good defense there from Trey Bryant to force the miss. Burwell up the floor quickly for the Pacers. A three from Burwell, a bank shot! Burwell with seven of the first 10 points for the Pacers. Tyrell Jr. with the other three. Pacers up 10-4 with 16:41 to go here in the first half. It's a nice bucket and a drive by Dante Burden up the right lane. Cuts the Pacer lead to 4 with 16.5 to go here in the first. Burwell hand off to Sellers. Sellers around a pick from Tyrell Jr. Now Trey Bryant with it. Back to Sellers it goes. Pump fake from 3. Around a pick from Bryant. Sellers, fall away jumper, no good off the bank. And that'll be rebounded by Calvin Manley, who holds it to slow down this Pacer pace here early. As the Pacers bringing a high energy into this building in what's already going to be a tight game. Manley a pass down low to Mitchell, and Mitchell's fouled by Tyrell Jr. He's got 2 shots coming up here from the line, and now some substitutions. And a timeout as well. High energy start here for the Pacers here in round 1 of the USA South Conference Tournament. 10-6 your score, Pacers up 4. We'll be right back on the Pacers Sports Network. .57 to go in the first half. Pacers out to a 4-point lead here early. 10-6. Methodist Monarchs yet to take a lead yet today. As now Kamen Mitchell at the line. First free throws for him today, or any Monarch, as he hits the first one. That'll cut the Pacer lead to just 3 now. Kamen Mitchell, the lead scorer with 24 points. Last time these two teams faced off with one another in this building, as he goes 2 for 2 from the line right there, cutting it to a 2-point Pacer lead. 10-8 with 15:48 to go. Trey Bryant receives a pass from Mikael Gaylord, in and out. Bryant gets his own miss. Now it's going to be a jump ball, as that should go to the Pacers, considering Methodist won the tip. And that is exactly what the official whistles. Taquan Whitmore in the game for the first time today as well for the Pacers. Bo Bryant also. Gaylord on the inbound pass, looking for options. A lob pass to Whitmore, almost stolen away, but he regains it. Picks up the dribble, but not before a travel from Taquan Whitmore. Score still 10-8, Pacers up 2, with exactly 15.5 minutes to go here in the first half from the Herm. in round 1 of the USA South tournament. William Peace, the number 2 seed in the East. Methodist, number 3 seed in the East. This one almost stolen by Burwell. Pass made by Dearman. Dearman inside. And now an offensive foul. Cayman Mitchell. Coach David Smith, in his 21st season here with the Monarchs of Methodist University, definitely not agreeing with that call. Call stands regardless. 10-8 your score with 15-13 left here in the first half. It'll be Bo Bryant on the pass into Mikkel Gaylord. As Gaylord brings it past midcourt, he'll hand off to Whitmore. Whitmore around a pick from Bryant. Whitmore to Bo Bryant. Bryant back to Whitmore, around to Gaylord on the right wing. Gaylord cross court to Bo Bryant, left wing. Inside to Trey Bryant. Trey Bryant goes up and gets it to go. No foul as he puts that one over Cayman Mitchell. And that'll put the Pacer lead back out to 4 at 12-8 with 14:43 to go here in the first half. Malik Edwards in the ball game for the first time for the Monarchs. He passes off to Dearman. Dearman goes up. Nice take by Dearman. Garen Dearman, a junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, as he makes it a 2-point game yet again, 12-10, still in favor of the Pacers, as Cam Ferguson almost loses the pass. He gets it to Trey Bryant. Cam Ferguson, another 3, missed his first, also misses there as he's 0 from 2 from behind the arc, where he specializes. The lead will stay right where it is for the Pacers at 12-10. And now blocked by Bryant. Bryant regains it. Pacer ball with just 14 minutes to go, even here in the first half. Gaylord loses the dribble, gets it back, kicks it to Trey Bryant. Bryant a jab step, hand off to Gaylord. Gaylord to Whitmore up the right lane. Whitmore up and under, no good, as that would have been a nice take there by Taquan Whitmore, the sophomore guard out of Mebane, North Carolina, but it'll be Methodist ball. Methodist taking it to the right. Pacers taking it to the left in their possessions. As Edwards goes up, gets fouled and hits the floor hard. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. That foul on Bo Bryant, freshman from Durham, North Carolina, about a half an hour away from here. Zaire Edwards, sophomore forward, standing 6 foot even, weighing about 160, from Henderson, North Carolina, at the line for his 2 first free throws of the night. He hits number 1. 13:33 to go. Pacers only lead by 1 now, as Zaire Edwards could tie things up here for the first time since the opening tip just about 6.5 minutes ago. Pacers been leading the entire way. Next free throw from Edwards, and that knots things up 12-all. With 13:30 on the clock in the first half. DeAndre Thomas, senior, one of 5 seniors for the Pacers, in for the first time here tonight. Tyson Sellers back in the game. Ferguson with it on the left wing, over to Bo Bryant. Bryant looked for options. Pass intended for Ferguson, tipped and deflected and stolen by Burden. As Burden brings it up, slows the pace. Gets it to Manley. Manley thought about a 3. Now Burden back with it. Burden guarded by Sellers. A kick over to Edwards. Back to Burden it goes. Goes around a pick from Edwards. Burden to Manley. Manley loses Bo Bryant. Jump shot too strong from the left side. It'll be Pacer ball. 12:48 to go here in the first half. Pacers and Monarchs knotted up at 12-all. Monarchs have yet to lead in this one, as now a turnover there, stolen by Burden, his 2nd straight. That turnover by John Burwell of your Pacers. Burden, spin move, nothing there, kicks it out. Back to Burden from Manley. 9 on the shot clock now. Burden inside. Manley looking for options, goes up on DeAndre Thomas, no foul, as they'll rule it a clean block for DeAndre Thomas, and now whistle blown. It'll be a shot clock violation for the Monarchs, as Tyrell Jr. checks back in for the first time in a little while. 12-12 still your score, 12-11 to go in the first half. as Edwards, as Zaire Edwards and Malik Edwards will both check out here for Methodist. Giovanni Thompson and John Baker in for the first time here today for the Monarchs. As Tyrell Jr. gets it to John Burwell. Burwell with it, 17 on the shot clock, 11:56 to go in the first half. Pass over to Ferguson, quick catch and shoot, as he's now 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. This one bounces over the backboard and out of bounds. And now we'll take our second media timeout here tonight, 11:50 to go in the first half. We've been knotted up here for a little while. Pacers scoreless in the last 3:02. Methodist scoreless in the last 1:43. 12 all here on the Pacers Sports Network. Pacers improving this season as far as the regular season is concerned, as they finished last year 13-13, 500, 9-8 in USA South play. This season they finished 14-11 overall and 12-5 in USA South play, so improving on both of those records from last year to this one, as we're back in here with Methodist in possession. Tied up at 12 all, 11:39 to go in the first half. Thompson looking for some space, puts up a shot over Tyrell Jr., but short. It'll be rebounded by Trey Bryant of your Pacers. And now Burwell with it on the other side. Burwell locked up by some Methodist defense, but Trey Bryant down low. John Burwell on the assist. Bryant puts the Pacers back up 2 at 14-12. Pacers in their first bucket in about 3 minutes of play, if not a little more than that. Bryant with 4 points after that. Burwell with 2 assists. And now on the other end, it'll be a bucket that knots things up at 14 all. Dante Burden hits that. 4 points for him tonight so far. As Burwell picks up the dribble. Trey Bryant down low. Thought he might have a jam, but he just skies over and puts it in on the layup. And that'll put the Pacers back up 2. Methodist yet to take a lead so far. They've knotted things up twice since the opening tip when it was 0-0, but have not taken a lead. There's now a pick here from Thompson, and Burden loses it. It'll be Pacer ball. Burwell, 1-step, 2-step, and no good on the floater. Trey Bryant on the rebound, puts it in. And now a 4-point lead for the Pacers. Timeout Methodist. As the Pacers taking back some momentum yet again in this one, as they lead it by 4, 18-14, with 10:22 to go here in the first half. First timeout taken here by Methodist, a 30-second timeout. Taken by Coach David Smith, who has an overall record with Methodist. He's been with Methodist since 1981, I believe. It's his 21st season. He's got an overall record over there with 252 and 276 being his overall record. He's a 2-time USA South Coach of the Year, 5-time regular season champion in the USA South. He's won this tournament we're in the first round of twice, the conference tournament of the USA South, and he's also got 2 Division III national tournament bids. As we come out of the timeout, it'll be Methodist ball. Pass over to Baker. Baker to Calvin Manley. Good defense, Tyrell Jr. and Trey Bryant. And they're going to say that's a foul on Tyrell Jr. as he and Trey Bryant both went up for the block. As that'll send Calvin Manley to the line for 2 free throws. Methodist, a 75.7% free throw shooting team here in the regular season. Pacers still up 4. As Manley goes 1 of 2 there from the line. And cuts the lead for the Pacers to just 3 now at 18-15. Under 10 minutes to go, 9:50 to go here in the first half from the Herm in the first round of the USA South Tournament. As Tyson Sellers passes to Gaylord, who's back in the game for the Pacers. Kick over to Burwell from Gaylord. Burwell drives up the left lane, picks up the dribble, thought about passing it, takes a floater instead, and a good decision by Burwell as he puts the Pacers back up 5 at 20-15, 9:27 to go in the first half. As Burden bumped into Bo Bryant. Oh, Shields looking for an offensive foul, now a whistle elsewhere. So they're going to say that's going to be a foul on John Burwell, his first of the night. There's now Kevin McClellan Jr., sophomore out of Stedman, North Carolina, will check back into the game. He'll check in for John Baker on the Methodist side of things, and he'll also take the ball from the official and get an inbound pass off. As Cam Ferguson will defend that pass. Pass in goes to Mitchell. Mitchell to Dearman, right wing. Dearman guarded by Burwell. Burden on the left side, guarded by Gaylord. A drive up the left side by Burton, and he gets a floater to go, cutting the lead for the Pacers to just 3 now with 9 minutes to go in the first half. Pacers have led the whole way. Methodist only knotting it up twice since the opening tip. They haven't taken a lead just yet. Gaylord goes up, contact, and that's going to be a foul as Gaylord hits the floor. That'll be a foul on Calvin Manley, senior forward from Lewisburg, North Carolina. That'll send Gaylord to the line. Pacers 73.6% free throw shooting team for the regular season this year. As Gaylord comes up short on the first free throw attempt right there. The lead will stay right where it is at 3 in favor of the Pacers. 20-17, 8:47 to go here in the first half from the Herm. Next free throw in and out, 0 for 2 there for Gaylord at the line. Lead will stay where it is at 20-17 in favor of your Pacers. As Burden gets it to Mitchell, back to Burden. Burden goes up and loses it. And now that'll send Burden to the line after a foul from Mikel Gaylord, his first. Burden 3 of his first 3 shots from the field. Now 1 of 1 there from the line. Burden with 7 points total now, leading all of the Monarchs in scoring here in the early parts of the game. Second shot good from Burden, 2 of 2 of the line there. Ferguson to Bryant, Bryant to Bryant. Sellers, good ball movement by the Pacers over to Gaylord and hits a 3. As that'll put the Pacers out in front by 4, 23-19. Methodist still yet to take a lead here with 8:11 to go in the first half. McClellan Jr. guarded by Ferguson, a pass over to Mitchell, Mitchell to Burden, Burden guarded by Gaylord. Pass into Manley. Manley a jumper over Bo Bryant, gets it to go. Sellers, step back 3, no good, too strong. Pacers lead by 2 now, 23-21. With 7:38 to play in the first half. It'll be Burden with the ball, guarded by Gaylord. Almost a travel there on Burden as he got some oohs and ahs from the crowd, thinking he may have actually traveled. Pass back to Burden from Kamen. Burden goes up, and it'll be a travel that time. It'll send things over to the Pacers. And now another media timeout. 7:23 to go here in the first half from the Herm. In the first round of the USA South Tournament, Pacers lead it 23-21. You're listening to the Pacers Sports Network. .7:23 to go here in the first half in round one of the USA South tournament between your Pacers and Methodist. Pacers lead at 23-21. They've led the whole way. Only 2 times have the Monarchs of Methodist tied things up. Other than that, it's been all Pacers. Burwell picks up the dribbles, almost travels with it, gets it to Bo Bryant. Bryant to Ferguson. Ferguson back to Burwell. Burwell to Sellers. Good ball movement here by the Pacers. 7 on the shot clock, and now a foul. That one on Kamen Mitchell to likely be on the floor, so no free throws coming up, but will be Pacer ball, however. With 6:59 to play in the first half. It's been a high-energy game here as the Pacers looking to continue the best season they've had in program history. As Tyson Sellers takes a 3. No good there from Sellers. Sellers 0 for his first 4 from the field. 3 of those coming from deep. McClellan Jr. guarded by Ferguson. 9 on the shot clock here for the Monarchs. A pull up by Mitchell over Trey Bryant, no good. But a putback before the shot clock could expire. That one by Calvin Manley on the tip in. He's got 7 points after that as Burwell goes up on the other end and gets it. Following Methodist tying things up for the 3rd time tonight, Pacers take the lead right back by 2, 25-23, continuing that streak of no lead changes here for the Monarchs. Mingledorf receiving the pass. Mingledorf to Burden. Burden goes around a pick from Manley. Good moves here by Burden, but lock-up defense as Trey Bryant tips this one to Burwell. Turnover, and now an obvious offensive foul on John Burwell as he tried to do a quick Euro step. And that's his 2nd foul of the night and 2nd turnover of the night. Here's Mikel Gaylord, checks back in. 5:33 to go here in the first half. Pacers up 2, 25-23. Jaquan Whitmore and Donnelly Tyrell Jr. also back in the game here for the Pacers. Sellers, Bryant, and Burwell all check out. Dearman in for Mitchell on the Methodist side of things. McClellan Jr. tightly guarded by Cam Ferguson. Gets it to Burden at the top of the key. 3-pointer top of the key, rattles around. And right there is the first lead change of the game. Methodist takes over here by 1, 26-25. As now Gaylord double team, picks up the dribble, gets it to Ferguson. 5:03 left here in the first half. Pacers trailing for the first time tonight. Whitmore left side. Over to Ferguson. 10 on the shot clock. Ferguson on the floater. And just like that, the Pacers take it back over by 1, 27-26. With under 5 minutes to go, 4:45 on the clock exactly here in the first half. Now over to the right corner and out of bounds. We'll see who touched it last.
Let's go, Maryville! Hey, Kevin! Maryville!
Now a quick change here for Methodist as McClellan Jr. will check out. John Baker will check in. DeAndre Thomas will check in for Trey Bryant on the Pacers side of things. Pacers lead it 27-26 following the first lead change of the night in favor of Methodist. There's now a pull-up three, a little short and off to the right wide by John Baker, as that would have put the Monarchs up 2, but the lead will stay where it is in favor of the Pacers by 1, 27-26. Ferguson thought about a three. Probably better judgment to pass it away, but Whitmore loses it. Burden on the other end. No foul called, and he gets the bucket. Methodist takes back over 28-27. The second lead change of the night. Monarchs have yet to lead by more than one. Whitmore, a wild pass, but Ferguson chases it down, but it's a mid-court violation against the Pacers. And now we'll take a quick timeout here at 4 minutes even left to go here in the first half, as momentum gradually inching over to the Methodist side of things in the last minute and a half of play. Pacers still in it though. They trail here by 1. They've led most of the game, but 28-27 your score here in favor of Methodist. We'll take a short break and we'll return to round 1 of the USA South Tournament right here on the Pacers Sports Network. If things weren't already close enough between the two opponents tonight, the Pacers and the Methodist Monarchs, whether you're talking about regular season record, USA South record, ranking, Pacers are number 2 in the East, Methodist number 3. Score right now with 4 minutes to go in the first half at 27-28 in favor of Methodist. Not only all those things, but this was actually the game that knocked the Pacers out of this same game and ended their season last year right here in this same building. So things will be interesting to see if the Pacers can switch the tide there as they take the ball on the other side following a turnover by Methodist, and now out of bounds. Last touch by a Methodist defender. With 3:46 to go here in the first half, it'll be Pacer ball. They trail by 1. Their second time trailing here tonight. They haven't trailed by any more than that 1 point. Pass into Tyro Jr. over to Sellers now at the top of the key, over to Gaylord. Gaylord top of the key over to Sellers on the right side. Sellers, and he'll lose this one out of bounds off of Sellers' foot, says the official. And it'll be Methodist ball following the Pacer turnover. First one for Sellers, 7th one as a team for the Pacers tonight. Here with threes across the board. At 3:33 to go here in the first half, Pacers trail by 1, 27-28. Burden guarded by Gaylord on the right side. Burden to Manley. Manley loses it off of his foot into the hands of Gaylord for the Pacers. Burwell over to Bryant. Bryant loses it. And as Bryant tries to retrieve, he steps out of bounds with control of the ball, so that'll send things over to Methodist here with 3:09 to go in the first half. As Methodist has stolen a little bit of the Pacer momentum that lasted for pretty much the first 15 minutes or so of the game. Is now out of bounds yet again. It'll be off Sellers yet again. It'll stay here with Methodist. Pass goes into Dearman from John Baker. Dearman guarded tightly by Sellers. Sellers will reach in, no whistle. Trey Bryant attempted to get the interception. As now Manley goes up, hits the floor hard, no whistle, but he gets the bucket. And now the Monarchs extend their lead up to 3. It's the first time tonight the Monarchs have led more than one. Sellers, top of the key, gets it to Ferguson. Ferguson for the tie. Too strong. Bryant on the rebound, but he loses it on the bounce, tipping it around, and now finds its way to Sellers. 15 still on the shot clock. Ferguson gets it again, gets it to Gaylord, and now whistle blown. Now a shot clock error, and now we'll take it up to 12 on the shot clock instead of 8. Pacers trail here by 3. They led the whole way, pretty much up until almost 15 minutes or so ticked off the clock in the first half, when the Monarchs got their first lead of the game, and now they're up by 3 for the first time here tonight by more than just 1 point. Still a tight game pretty much the whole half. Pacers have never led by double digits even when they were ahead. Sellers, three-pointer would have tied it up. No good, too short, and that'll be mingled off on the rebound, and he'll quickly get it to Burton, who gradually walks it up the floor with almost 2 minutes to go in the first half, and the Monarchs leading by 3. And now another pause in play. Not sure why the pause with 2:04. So it'll be Pacer ball as they trail by 3 with 2:04 to go. Not sure why pause and play, but Pacer ball regardless. Burwell kicks out to Sellers, wide open. 3 and no good as it went in and out. Trey Bryant on the rebound, goes up, hits the floor, no foul, misses the bucket. Goes out of bounds just in front of the backboard, as it'll remain Pacer ball. 30-27, Monarchs up 3 with 1:53 to play in the first half. Pacers looking to knot things up as Monarchs have led it for the last little bit, as the Pacers have been scoreless for the last 3:04, and it continues there as Burwell misses his deep shot. Pacers won for their last 6 from the field over that scoreless 3:05 span. Good ball movement here by Methodist, finds a 3 in the left corner as Garen Dearman puts the Monarchs up 6, 33-27. Ferguson on the other end, goes around a pick from Bryant. This one tipped to Burwell. Burwell goes up, no travel called, as that'll cut the lead to 4 for the Monarchs, as that's the first bucket in about the last 3.5 minutes for the Pacers, as they're now 2 for their last 7 attempts. Minute 15 left as a quick William Peace timeout will be taken by Coach Claude Shields here in his 8th season with the Pacers. Not to mention he was also your 2014-2015 season USA South Coach of the Year. In a season where the Pacers finished 13-13, just the same as they did last year, as the Pacers were predicted, I believe, to finish last in the East Division of the USA South that year, and Claude Shields led that team to the 2nd position, and also winning himself that 2014-15 USA South Coach of the Year award. Now on the other end, a Methodist turnover into the hands of William Peace, but right back to Methodist it goes as Bo Bryant loses it in the hands of Calvin Manley. And now under a minute to go, Monarchs lead at 4, 33-29. $13 on the shot clock, 44 on the game clock. Burden still with it. Gets it off to Calvin Manley. Manley with 6 on the shot clock, goes up for the floater and gets it to go. Methodist up 6 with seconds remaining here in the first half. 35-29 your score. $15 now on the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. Trey Bryant with it, Pacers down 6. Gaylord goes straight up the gut. As now the official calls a foul, waves off the shot. It'll be on Kevin McClellan Jr. of Methodist as Gaylord tried to drive right up the gut. .5 seconds to go in regulation. Shot clock down. Pacer ball. They trail by 6. Pass goes into Gaylord. 5 seconds now. Gaylord goes up and gets fouled, and that'll go to the line. And so with 3.4 seconds to go, Mikel Gaylord will go to the line here for 2 shots. As the first one rattles short off the rim, but finds its way in. And that'll cut the Monarch lead to 5, 35-30, in a half that was pretty much exclusively led by the Pacers for about the first 13 to 15 minutes. Only a couple ties. And then the Monarchs have pretty much taken control. Albeit they've been small leads, as now they lead by 4 because Gaylord hits 2 shots there from the line. But it has been led by the Monarchs in the last 5 minutes or so of play here in the first half. Is now 3.4 seconds to go. It'll be Monarch ball. Pacers down 4. Pass goes in as Malik Edward gets it off, but it's a pointless shot as the buzzer expires for the first half. Pacers get the last 2 buckets of the half from the free throw line. Mikel Gaylord going 2 of 2 from the stripe right there. And that'll conclude the first half here on the Pacers Sports Network. Pacers trail by 4, 35-31. They led pretty much the first 13 to 15 minutes, as I said just a minute ago. But the Monarchs stole a little bit of that momentum in the last 5 minutes or so of play. We'll get things going again in about 13 minutes or so and get the second half started here in round 1 of the USA South Conference Tournament between your Pacers and the Methodist Monarchs right here on the Pacers Sports Network. if you're a Pacer fan, here's some things to consider following a first half, as we're now less than a minute away from the second half. Following a first half that you saw pretty much controlled by the Pacers for about the first 13 to 15 minutes. And then you kind of saw it back and forth, getting really tight between the two. And then the Monarchs of Methodist kind of stole some of the Pacer momentum there in the last 5 minutes or so of the first half. Something to consider is that the last time these two faced off, and it was early in the regular season, I believe it was December 12th when this happened, that game between these two in this building was essentially identical. It was essentially identical in the sense that the Pacers got off to a hot 10-0 start. Now, they didn't get to a 10-0 start today, but it was just a little bit less than that. Then Methodist came back, and then it was back and forth, and then Methodist stole the momentum in that game as well. Coming down the stretch of the first half, they stole the lead, and they took halftime with a 45-40 lead. And then the Pacers went on to win that one 93-79. So there's just something to think about as we get things started here in the second half in round one of the USA South Conference tournament between, obviously, your Pacers, the number 2 seed in the East. And they're taking on the Methodist Monarchs that are in the house, coming in here at number 3 in the East, as Methodist will have possession to get things started here in the second half, and they lead it 35-31. As a deep J is short, as both Trey Bryant and Burden hit the floor, and Burden will be the one to come up with it. As now Methodist will take a quick timeout, as Burden called time once he grabbed possession of the ball down on the floor. Pacers, one of their last 6 from the field there at the end of the second half. If you recall, Mikal Gaylord had the last buckets, though, for the Pacers from the foul line, hitting 2 of 2 to take us into halftime. Following what's been the best regular season so far for the Pacers in program history for the men's side, at 14-11 overall and 12-5 in conference play. Both of those records are their best records in program history. They're also looking to do something that they've never done in program history, which is get past the first round of the conference tournament. In 8 of the seasons that the program has had a men's basketball team, they've made, including today, including this season, they've made the conference tournament 5 times. And they're looking to get past that first round barrier for the first time ever, as a deep 2 is no good by Calvin Manley. As now Burwell will bring it up for the Pacers. Pacers their first possession of the half. Burwell goes up 2 long steps as he gets that bucket to go, and he's got one more free throw coming up here with 19:28 to go in the second half. As the Pacers get off on the right note here, cutting the lead for Methodist to just 2 now, 35-33. Pacers looking to right the wrong this season, as this was the exact matchup in this building that ended their season last year. Looking to get a little redemption here against the Monarchs and extend to the semifinal round of the USA South tournament, and John Burwell hits a free throw there to get him 1 point closer and to cut the Monarchs' lead to just 1 now. Some tight defense from Sellers, and now Burwell gets the steal as he hits the floor. Hits the floor hard. .19 to go in the second half. Pacers have it down to 1, 35-34. As that foul on Garen Dearman, his first. John Burwell with his 3rd steal of the game just prior to that. He's also got 16 points as well as he hit the first and First two and only two buckets of the half here for the Pacers, making it a one-point game. Burwell with it now. Picks up the dribble, gets it to Sellers. Sellers goes around a pick from Burwell and a pick from Trey Bryant. Sellers goes up and well short on the layup. Bryant on the rebound and puts it in. Pacers back up one. Pacers with their first lead of the half, 36-35. Monarchs yet to score this half, as now Cam Ferguson and John Burwell trap Burden down low, forcing a Methodist timeout. 18:40 to go. Pacers up one, stole the momentum, and we're going to take a short break right here on the Pacers Sports Network. Everything going Pacer way here to start things off, and not even the first 2 minutes of play in the second half, as we've got 18:40 on the clock. The Pacers, who came into the half trailing by 4, now have it by 1, 36-35 in their favor. Methodist ball as a trap by Ferguson and Burwell. The Pacers is what took us through that Methodist timeout there just shortly. There's now 18.5 minutes to go here in the second half. A pass to the right corner. McClellan Jr. dishes to Mitchell. Mitchell goes up and under Trey Bryant. No good. Now tipping around. Mingledorf comes down with it and a foul. Sam Mingledorf, a senior forward, one of 5 seniors on this team for Methodist. He'll go to the line now for 2 shots. Mingledorf, no attempts from the field or anywhere just yet, that one being his first. He misses from the free throw line. 0 of 1. He has yet to score a bucket just yet. He does have 4 rebounds and 2 assists, however, in about 15 minutes of play. He misses the second. 0 of 2 there for Mingledorf. As he'll still have a goose egg on his scoring column. As now Sellers, big 3 off to the right. And now McClellan on the rebound. 2 minutes melted off the clock here in the second half. Pacers with all the momentum so far in this half. Damon Mitchell pass inside. As now Manley goes up and gets fouled. That one on Tyrell Jr. Calvin Manley, senior forward from Lewisburg, North Carolina. Transfer in from Vance Granville Community College. He's going to head to the line for 2 shots right here. He would tie and potentially take the lead by 1 if he hits both. First shot good, and now we're all knotted up at 36 apiece. First point of the half there for Methodist after what's been a 7-1 run by the Pacers in the last 2 minutes and 41 seconds of play. Methodist just one of their last 4 from the field. They haven't made a field goal yet this half, as this point just came from the free throw line. As Manley takes his second, gets it to roll in. And now Methodist back on top by 1. With 17:50 to go. Burwell heads to the right side with it, guarded by McClellan Jr. Pick here from Trey Bryant. Burwell kicks it to the left corner. Ferguson 3. Got it! Pacers back up 2. Mitchell right side, guarded by Burwell, drives up the right side, kicks it to Mingledorf, an obvious foul as Mingledorf hits the floor hard. That one on Sellers, one of 5 seniors for the Pacers. Sellers charged with his first foul of the night, coming off of his 1,000th points in his college career last game, and the final regular season game of the Pacers season. Also senior day for the Pacers just a handful of days ago against Greensboro, where they won 92-83. Not all 1,000 of those points for Sellers coming with the Pacers, as he is a transfer. Lingeldorf misses his free throw there, makes one, and now on the other end, Pacers back up 3, 41-38. John Burwell on the bucket. He's now got 18 points. He leads the Pacers in scoring, as he often does. Is now a jump and a step-back jumper. McClellan Jr. gets the jump. Nice shot there from the guard from Stedman, North Carolina. That cuts the Pacer lead to 1, 41-40 with 16:42 to go, and now a whistle. Now a technical foul! McClellan Jr. charged with the foul, then slammed the ball down after the call. Immediately gets a technical foul called against him. A big break there for the Pacers. They lead 1, and that's just more momentum going in their favor. As McClellan Jr. following the tech will take a seat on the Monarch bench. As Mikal Gaylord checks in for Tyson Sellers for the Pacers. Malik Edwards will check in for McClellan Jr. for Methodist. So it'll be Cam Ferguson here to take the technical foul free throw. He comes up short. He will get one more. Second one in and out for Ferguson. There misses there for the Pacers sniper from 3, as the majority of his points come from behind the arc. As McClellan, not only does he get charged for a bang-bang foul and a technical foul, he's also got 4 fouls for the Monarchs, as the Pacers will receive the ball following the tech. Ferguson from 3 comes up short and wide. Pacers still up 1, 41-40, 16:28 to go. Crossover from Burden, Ferguson guarding. Picks up the dribble, kicks it to the top of the key, Mitchell. Mitchell to Edwards. Malik Edwards hands off to Burden. Burden guarded by Gaylord, a pick from Kamen. And now a floater, good from Burden. Nice move for the Methodist guard. That'll give the Monarchs their first lead in a little while, taking it 42-41 by a point. John Burwell, pull up Jay, and he got it. Pacers back up again, 1-point game, 43-42. Intensity picking up here in the Hearn. Methodist with possession. Bounce backs inside, Kamen Mitchell goes up on Bryant, gets blocked. But also a foul, Trey Bryant. Bryant charged with the foul. It'll send Kamen Mitchell to the line. Two fouls now on Trey Bryant, and what's been a wild beginning of the second half. 15:37 to go. Pacers lead it 43-42. You're listening to the Pacers Sports Network. .37 to go in what's been a wild and intense beginning to the second half. 43-42, your Pacers lead, having come into the half trailing 4. It's now Kamen Mitchell, junior from High Point, North Carolina. and a transfer from NC Wesleyan College, will take his first free throw of 2, and he makes it. And that'll knot things up at 43 all. Second one for Mitchell is good, and so 2 of 2 there will put the Monarchs back in front by 1. Several lead changes so far this half. Methodist leads it 44-43. Taquan Whitmore back in for the first time in a while. Hands off to Burwell. Burwell right side, pick from Trey Bryant. Burwell goes around it, goes up for the jumper and gets it! 22 points for Burwell, and he puts the Pacers back on top by 1, 45-44, with 15-10 left to go here in round 1 of the USA South Tournament. Burden takes the pass, 15 on the shot clock. Pick from Mitchell. Mitchell with a pass. Goes inside on Bo Bryant and doesn't get the roll. Trey Bryant comes down with it. Big rebound there. As now Gaylord goes up, gets the roll. Pacers up 3. Some lock-up defense. Burden finally passes midcourt. A pass inside, almost out of bounds. And now a foul on John Burwell. Got a little handsy. And now a tech on John Burwell. Costly mistake there for John Burwell, in almost an identical situation as what took place for Kevin McLaughlin of Methodist just a handful of minutes ago. As Burwell gets called for an obvious reach-in foul, just a little too aggressive. And then in a rage of frustration gets a 4th foul, a technical foul called against him just seconds later. So now both Methodist and Peace with 2 of their key players, or 1 each on each side, a key player. McLaughlin with 4 fouls for Methodist. John Burwell, a key player for the Pacers, leading and scoring, is now this one heading out of bounds, but Burden receives it as he goes up and it's lost. And now it'll be Pacer ball. Dante Burden, turnover number 6. The 10th turnover there for Methodist. And now with a 1-point lead, Pacers will have possession, 14-14 to go. As that'll get a loud cheer out of the Pacer crowd as Gaylord goes around a pick from Bryant. Gaylord thought about a pull-upper. Passes to Whitmore. Whitmore back to Gaylord. Gaylord drives up the right side. Kick out Bo Bryant, right corner. Rattles out and into the hands of McLaughlin Jr., who has 4 fouls here for Methodist. And now that's going to be a foul on Taquan Whitmore. Shot will be waved off. And actually that'll be on Trey Bryant, not Taquan Whitmore, as signaled by the official. Pacers up 1. As Cam Ferguson and DeAndre Thomas will check in for Taquan Whitmore and Trey Bryant. 13:42 to go in what's been a wild second half, as Dante Burden prepares to take his first free throw. He makes it, tying things up at 47 all. He is 6th in scoring in the USA South as a whole, as he makes free throw number 2. 2 of 2 from the line there, Burden, and he puts the Monarchs up 1, 48-47, with 13:42 to go here in round 1 of the USA South Tournament. Gaylord pass to Bo Bryant, just beyond the arc on the right side. Bryant pass back to Gaylord. Gaylord Ferguson, deep one from the top of the key. Got it! Cam Ferguson, 1 of 6 from 3 before that. And a good time to make one. He's 2 of 7 and puts the Pacers up 2, 50-48. As the Pacers have had an answer to everything that Methodist has thrown at them this half. Is a big shot there from Calvin Manley, knocks things up at 50 all. With 13 minutes to play, no fouls, Gaylord bumps in. And now another three, Bo Bryant! Bryant with his first bucket of the night and a big one as he puts the Pacers up 3 with just under 13 minutes to play. McClellan right side, guarded by Ferguson. McClellan drives in right side, kicks out, now to the top of the key it goes. Manley, big three, as he answers Bo Bryant with a 3 of his own, 53 all. Gaylord, no foul. A lot of contact, misses the shot, Methodist ball. Mitchell, now McClellan Jr. on the left side, Monarchs back up 2. Gaylord, long pass and now stolen away, tipped by Manley, down in the corner. Edwards secures it and brings it up here for Methodist. McClellan Jr. on the right side. Dearman 3, got a big one. Methodist with a big response, 58-53. A wild second half to what's been pretty much a wild game. As the Monarchs start to build some momentum, 58-53, we're going to take a timeout with 11:56 to play. You're listening to the Pacer Sports Network. Following a couple big threes by both Cam Ferguson and Bo Bryant of your Pacers. A few followed up by Methodist, the 2 big threes, and as a result, the Monarchs find themselves in a 5-point 58-53 lead here with just under 12 minutes to go in round 1 of the USA South Tournament. Pacers with the ball following the timeout. Gaylord drives in. Sellers, top of the key 3, off to the left. And rebounded by Methodist. It'll be Dearman to come up. He hit that last 3 for the Monarchs, and now he's stripped, but a foul. It'll be Dearman with his first turnover of the game here for Methodist. Sam Mingledorf checks in for Denzel Smith. Pacers scoreless in the last minute 25. Methodist on an 8-0 run. Ferguson deep 3 from the left side, waved off. Some type of offensive foul on Trey Bryant. And what would have been a massive 3 made with Cam Ferguson, but it gets waved off following the foul. So it'll be Methodist ball as they lead 5 here, 58-53. Pass goes into Malik Edwards. Pass to the right corner, Dearman, yes! Dearman with a couple of big threes late. Has the Monarchs up by 8, 53-61. Just under 11 minutes to play. Tyrell Jr. pick, Gaylord to Ferguson. Ferguson, this one deep and over the backboard, out of bounds. It'll be Methodist ball The largest lead of the game by either side. Now held by Methodist at 8 points, 53-61, with 10:51 to play. As the Pacers will need to respond in a big way coming down the stretch of this game. Methodist with it. Malik Edwards on the left side, guarded by Gaylord. Now a drive, Edwards left side, first double-digit lead of the game. Either team now held by Methodist at 63-53. Bryant to Sellers, things starting to get out of control for the Pacers here late. Sellers to Gaylord, Gaylord across court to the left corner. Tyrell Jr. drives inside, whistle blown, and that's going to be a foul likely against Methodist. 10:14 to go. It will be against Methodist. It'll be Sam Mingledorf. A foul on the floor, so no free throws coming. But it will be Pacer ball as they trail 10 here late. 10:14 to go in the second half. And round one of the USA South tournament as the pass goes into Bo Bryant. Bryant gets locked up down in the corner, has to get it out to Gaylord. 13 on the shot clock, 10:05 on the game clock. Ferguson, quick pull-up jumper, and no good there for Ferguson. And 9:54 to go, it'll be Methodist ball, as we are now under the 10-minute mark here in the Herm, and now just a lousy play there by McClellan Jr., and it'll be Pacer ball following the turnover, as he just dribbled out of bounds. As Trey Bryant will check in for Bo Bryant. The second turnover of the night for McClellan Jr., who has 4 fouls following his technical foul a little while ago. John Burwell, who also has one for the Pacers a while ago, hasn't seen the game since then, as he leads the Pacers in scoring. Bryant gets up above everybody and cuts into the lead. 8-point lead now by Methodist. Long pass to McClellan. McClellan goes up, no whistle blown, misses the shot. Mingledorf on the rebound, goes up, and that's going to be a travel and a jump ball. And what looked like an up and down on Mingledorf, but it'll actually be a jump ball, but the ball will go to the Pacers regardless. With 9:24 to go, 55-63.
We had it to start the half.
Gaylord right side, guarded by Edwards. Ferguson cross court, Whitmore, big three. Too strong. Tipped around and into the hands of Mingledorf. A quick board there for Methodist. Pull up, Dearman. He's got 3 big ones, and now the Methodist Monarchs lead 11 with 8:55 to go. Whitmore, pass from Ferguson, loses it. Now a foul, and it's coming back to the Pacers. A big break there for the Pacers, as that breakaway would have put Methodist up 13, assuming they made the layup on the other end. The score will stay right where it is at 66-55. Garrett Dearman Jr., 6'1" from Greensboro, North Carolina, a product of Southern Guilford High School, having a big impact here late with 3 massive threes in the last handful of minutes. That's helped propel Methodist to this 11-point lead. Shaquan Whitmore now for the Pacers is now 2 key players in foul trouble for the Pacers with 4. Trey Bryant and John Burwell. Bryant just checked out of the game following his 4th foul. O'Bryant in for Donnelly Tyrell Jr. And now a couple of free throws made there for Whitmore. Now the Pacers have it back down to single digits. 9-point lead here by the Monarchs, 57-66, 8:49 to play. And now stolen away, Ferguson, big three, no! And now that's a foul on Tyson Sellers, his second. Another key player for the Pacers that has to be careful here on defense. Donnelly Tyrell Jr. has 3 fouls. as there's already 2 key Pacers with 4, Burwell and Bryant. Trey Bryant. Is now Donnelly Tyrell Jr. in danger of that as well, so we'll have to be careful on defense. First free throw made. This by Calvin Manley, senior from Lewisburg, North Carolina, and that puts Methodist back up 10 at 67-57. As now he gets the second one to rattle in, 2 of 2 from the line there. And now the Methodist Monarchs up 11 here with 8.5 minutes to play. As Ferguson gets locked up, has to kick out to Tyro Jr. Now over to Sellers, right wing. Sellers puts it on the floor, goes up the gut with it. And now that's going to be a foul on Dearman. Pacers trail 11, 8:23 to play. Tyson Sellers at the line. Hits the first of a 1-and-1 attempt, and that'll put things back to 10. Pacers still trail 68-58. Sellers misses the second, 1 of 2 from the line, but Bo Bryant misses the pass, throws it away into the hands of Dearman. Dearman. And now Burden on the other end gets fouled. .8:15 to go in the second half. Dante Burden at the line. Burden, an 87.6% free throw shooter, one of the better ones on Methodist's roster, among the starters anyway. As the first one is good for Burden, the junior of St. Paul's, North Carolina. Trey Bryant now checks in for Bo Bryant. As Bryant, the first of 2 players to check back in with 4 fouls here for the Pacers, as he didn't spend long on that Pacer bench. Second free throw good for Burden. And now Methodist leads 12 with just over 8 minutes to play. Ferguson over to Sellers. Sellers puts it on the ground. He'll be guarded by Dearman on the left side. He drives up to the right lane, and too strong on the layup attempt for Sellers, as it appeared he forced the shot. And now Methodist has it back again with under 8 minutes to play. Dearman pass inside, tipped by Bryant into the hands of Sellers for a Methodist turnover with 7:40 to play. Pacers down 12. Gaylord out to Ferguson, big one, got it! Pacers have it back to single digits, 70-61. And now a steal and a strip from Ferguson, but right back to Edwards it goes, following a big 3. Now Bryant with the steal. Gaylord on the floor. That'll be a foul on Kamen Mitchell. As now Cam Ferguson puts some life back into this Pacer bench and the Pacer crowd with a big 3 that cuts it back to single digits. 9-point game, 70-61. And now we'll take a media timeout. 7:16 to play. Pacers trying to claw back in. They trail 9 here in round 1 of the USA South Tournament. 7:16 to go. .716 to play in the second half of round 1 of the USA South Tournament. Pacers trail 9, 70-61. As they got out to just a steamroll of momentum at the beginning of this half, but it was stolen right back by Methodist. Now has it by 9. This will be Mikkel Gaylord. 2 big free throws coming up here. Assuming he would have made that one, he does not. 1-and-1 attempt. But now a foul right back. This one on Malik Edwards will give the Pacers another chance. Another 1-and-1 attempt for Gaylord. He hits the first that time, bringing the Pacers within 8. As slowly but surely they crawl back in, trailing by 12 just a minute ago, but a big 3 from Cam Ferguson to make it a 9-point game. And now 2 free throws from Mikkel Gaylord makes it a 7-point game, 70-63 with 7:12 to go. Calvin Manley looking for somewhere to go. Puts it on the ground, gets it to Burden, right corner, right block. And would have been a nice play by Burden, but the Pacer defense blocks it. As now Sellers loses it back into the hands of Dearman of Methodist. It's now an official timeout. Timeout taken by the official. It'll be a quick one. Under 7 minutes to go here in the Herb. 6:54 exactly, 70-63. As the Pacers have shown some life here in the last minute or two. They trailed as much as 12 a couple minutes ago. A big 3 from Cam Ferguson to cut it to 9, and 2 big free throws from Mikkel Gaylord put it to 7. And now they show some life here late in round 1 of the tournament of USA South. Pacers the 2 seed in the East, Methodist the 3 seed in the East. It'll be Methodist ball. Dearman looking for options. He'll find Burden. Tightly guarded by Gaylord. Edwards. Pass inside Mitchell. Mainly back to Edwards. Edwards double team. 7 on the shot clock. 3 from the right side. In and out. Big miss there for the Pacers. Now on the other end. Sellers gets blocked. No foul. A big block there, that one by Dearman. And now on the other end, Methodist back up 9. Dearman with 16 points after that bucket. A big block there against Peace. As they thought they had a breakaway, care of Tyson Sellers. And now Ferguson to Tyrell Jr. and a foul. This one against Malik Edwards. Another break there for the Pacers, as it would have been a turnover, but not before a foul could be called. So Tyrell Jr. will head to the line for a 1-and-1 attempt here for the Pacers. He's an 80% free throw shooter. One of the top shooters from the charity stripe for the Pacers. Only Cam Ferguson has a higher percentage at 81%. As Tyrell Jr. hits the first one there. That'll put things at an 8-point game. Monarchs of Methodist still lead. Winner of this game would go on to play the winner of Maryville and Covenant, where Maryville leads 62-56 currently with just 3:51 to go in that one. As Tyrell Jr. hits free throw number 2. 2 of 2 there for the 80% free throw shooter for the Pacers this season. And Bo Bryant now in for Tyrell Jr. as Tyrell Jr. has cut it to 7 here for Methodist. A full court press here for the Pacers. Dearman with it, trailed by Sellers. Now into Manley, and this one out of bounds, coming to the Pacers. Tight defense forces the Methodist turnover. And now Cam Ferguson checks in for Whitmore. possession here for the Pacers with 5:58 to go. Bryant to Gaylord, right side, a lob in. Trey Bryant misses the layup, and it's going to be rebounded by Calvin Manley. Bryant, who had pretty much an open lane, and now Burden on the other end gets fouled. Bucket no good, but he'll go to the line. Now Dante Burden. An 87.6% free throw shooter, one of the highest ones on the Methodist roster. It's attempt number 1 with 5.5 minutes exactly to go. Pacers trail 8, 65-73. He makes the second. Gaylord to bring it up. Pass into Cam Ferguson on the right side. Pass to Trey Bryant down low. Too strong on the attempt. Mitchell comes up with it, but a travel on Mitchell. Big break for the Pacers as they trail 9 with 5:18 to play. Be Cam Ferguson on the inbound pass. We have yet to see John Burwell, who leads the Pacers in scoring with 22. He's 10 of 12 from the field, but we haven't seen him since that 4th foul by way of a technical foul quite a while ago here in the second half, as I'm sure they'll save him for the last crucial couple of minutes of this game. As Trey Bryant also has 4 fouls, but he's in now for the Pacers. Bo Bryant 3 gets fouled. 3 big free throws coming up for Bo Bryant. And now Methodist with 2 players in foul trouble, and Mitchell will be the first one to go as he fouls out right there. Kamen Mitchell, junior, 6'5", 215 from High Point, North Carolina. 7 big rebounds for Mitchell, only 6 points, but the rebound's a big part of his game. He has fouled out here with 5:16 to play, as now Calvin Manley will check in place of him. Still life here for the Pacers with 5:16 to go. Bo Bryant at the line. First one rattles in, 1 of 3. As the Pacers now cut it to 8, 74-66. Second one from Bryant, good. 2 for 2 at the line. He's a 77.3% free throw shooter in the season, as now he could potentially cut it to a 2-possession game for the first time in a long time, and he does. 74-68, Pacers trail 6 as they're right back in it. Malik Edwards, cross court, Dearman, another big 3! He cannot be stopped from beyond the arc as he puts it back to a 9-point game, under 5 minutes to go, 4:57. Sellers forces the jump, Bryant to Whitmore. Whitmore to Gaylord, right side into Bryant, open on the right side, goaltending. As the bucket will automatically count following the goaltend. 4:49 to play. Pacers cut it to 7, 77-70. Trey Bryant will check out. Tyrell Jr. will check in.
Manley to Burden. Burden on the left side. Double team by Bryant. Sellers and Bryant on the double team. Pass over to the right side. McClellan Jr. Now top of the key, Burden. 12 on the shot clock, 4.5 on the game clock. Drive in, Burden, left side, no good. Whitmore on the rebound. 77-70, 4:19 to play. Pacers trail. Gaylord pulls back. Gaylord to Sellers. Sellers, tight defense there from Manley. Sellers, floater. And that's going to be a foul on Calvin Manley. Only his second. 4:04 to go. Tyson Sellers at the line. Sellers a 71.7% free throw shooter. Rattles in and out on the first attempt, no good. A make here would put it to 6 and double digits. Double possession game, a 2-possession game here with 4:04 to go. Second free throw, Sellers got it, nothing but net. Pacers cut it to a 2-possession game for the second time in the last couple of minutes. 4 minutes to play. They trail 6, the Pacers do. 77-71, Burden just in front of the crowd, right side, guarded by Gaylord. Pass to Manley. Manley thinking about a 2. He puts it on the floor. Spin. He loses it. Stripped. As now Manley comes up with it. Bryant recovers. Pacer ball. 3.5 minutes to play. Gaylord. Bo Bryant. Big 3. Doesn't draw iron. Gets it to Gaylord. And Gaylord fouled under the hoop. He'll go to the line. .29 to go, and we'll take a much-needed breather here in the Herb. Pacers trail 6 as they're right back into this game. Couple of free throws coming up for the Pacers when we come back on the Pacer Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. We're not the only game that's going to come down to a wild and wacky finish, as the opponent of the winner of this game would be decided between Maryville and Covenant, as Maryville leads that game right now 68-65, but 51 seconds to go. Meanwhile, Mikkel Gaylord has just cut it to a 5-point game here, 3:29 to go, and another free throw coming up for Gaylord. He hits it. Pacers now within 4. It's the closest they've been in a long time. And just like that, we've got a ball game on our hands with just under 3.5 to go. Gaylord 11 points after those free throws. McClellan Jr. right side, guarded by Ferguson. Hand off to Dearman. Dearman goes up, and he hits it again. Not from 3 this time, but Dearman has been the key player here for Methodist, and that'll put it up 79-73. Now tipped away, Burden on the steal. He goes up, Bryant, no foul. And now a foul on, that'll send Dearman to the line. That'll be a foul on Mikkel Gaylord. Gaylord just his second of the game, so no foul trouble there. Trey Bryant still with 4, John Burwell still with 4. We have yet to see Burwell since getting his 4th foul a long time ago early in this half. 2:57 to play. Methodist up 79-73. And Garen Dearman, who's been the player of the half, misses his first free throw. About 4 massive threes from Garen Dearman this half. That's been a big reason that the Monarchs have that lead. Also a clutch layup just a minute ago to add on to that. Dearman's second free throw and good, this time 1 of 2. Pacers still within 7, under 3 minutes to go, 2:54. As Gaylord goes around a pick from Bryant. Gaylord to Bo Bryant to Whitmore. Whitmore back to Gaylord. Gaylord around a pick from Trey Bryant. Now bounce pass Trey Bryant, goes inside, no foul. Obvious contact, but no call. And just like that, Methodist has the ball. They lead 7 with 2:30 to play. Burden to Dearman. Dearman, another 3. Way long that time. And now McClellan loses it. It's coming back to the Pacers, and a big defensive stop for the Pacers as Dearman, a rare miss there this half, comes up way long on what would have been his 5th massive 3 this half. I don't even believe he's missed from beyond the arc until then. It'll be Pacer ball. They trail 7, 2:20 to play. Gaylord Ferguson, big 3, too short, rebounded by Burton, 2:05 to play. Mingledorf, other end, gets it to go. Methodist now up 9 with 1:58 to play. Time coming down the stretch for the Pacers. Sellers goes up and one! Tyson Sellers, a big play down low, gets the bucket, and he's going to the line for one more. Free throw here made from Sellers would put it right back to a 2-possession game, 6-point lead for Methodist if he makes this. Score currently at 82-75, 1:53 to play. It's Tyson Sellers at the line following the and one. Sellers a 71.7% shooter. Puts it up and in and out. And this one rebounded by Calvin Manley, whistle blown. And that's going to be a foul on Tyson Sellers following the miss. Following that foul, Tyson Sellers now with 4 fouls, as he's the 3rd Pacer with 4. Not to mention 3 key Pacers now with 4 fouls. Sellers, Trey Bryant, and John Burwell, who we still haven't seen since he got that 4th foul a long time ago, early in the half. It's now 1 of 2 there at the line. 83-75, Pacers trail 8. 1:40 to go, Sellers with it. Guarded by Dearman, over to Gaylord it goes, right wing. Gaylord pulls back, 14 on the shot clock. Pick from Trey Bryant, Gaylord goes around it. Trey Bryant drives in, kicks out to Sellers. Big 3, Sellers, no good. Rebounded by Gaylord, Pacers get a fresh shot clock. It'll be Mikkel Gaylord at the line with 1:25 to play. Pacers trail here, 83-75. Dante Burden on the foul. He's got 3 now. As Gaylord misses there. Score will stay right where it is. Pacers trailing 8 with 1:25 to play, 83-75. Gaylord with one more free throw coming up. And this one in and out as well, rebounded by Mingledorf. Now he's trapped in the corner in a timeout called by Methodist. A quick 30-second timeout. As it's now or never if the Pacers are going to get back in. They only trail 8, but only 1:22 to make something happen here, and it'll be Methodist ball when we come back. We'll take a short break and bring you right back to coverage of round 1 of the USA South tournament between the Pacers and the Monarchs of Methodist right here on the Pacers Sports Network. Minute 22 to go. It'll be Methodist ball following the Methodist timeout. Pacers trail by 8, 83-75. Now a wide open Manley on the other end, fouled by Whitmore. Now that's going to be a flagrant foul, an obvious foul in the first place, but it'll be ruled a flagrant foul against Taquan Whitmore, just trying to stop play down on the other end and prevent Manley from scoring, but he may do so here as he's got some free throws coming up. 83-75 as this one rattles around and in. That'll put Methodist up 9, and they could potentially go up 10. Following another make from the free throw line from Calvin Manley, senior from Lewisburg, North Carolina. 1:20 to play. Manley in and out. So the lead will stay at single digits as Taquan Whitmore checks out. DeAndre Thomas checks out as well. Ferguson and Trey Bryant into the game yet again. Still no sign of John Burwell with 1:20 to go, as he's still on that Pacer bench with 4 fouls. Movement on the other end, stolen right away from Trey Bryant as he quickly gets it to Gaylord in 1:15. Pacers with the ball, and now whistle on the other end. And so as the official calls timeout, it appeared to just be a mistake, so it'll just be Pacer ball, just as it was. 1:13 to go. Pacers down 9. They're going to get back into it. The time is now. Pass goes into Trey Bryant. 1:10 to go. Pick from Trey Bryant. Sellers drives in. A wide open right lane, and Sellers gets it to go, and Claude Shields calls a quick timeout. As Taquan Whitmore and Bo Bryant should be checking into the game, it looks like, when we come back, as the Pacers cut it to 7, 84-77, 1:05 to play. Meanwhile, in the Maryville Covenant game, which will decide the opponent to the winner of this game here at the Herm, they're currently in OT over there at Covenant. 73-72, Covenant leads. And the winner of that game would play the winner of this game, and it would be at the home of the higher seed, which would be played on Saturday, February 29th. But assuming Covenant wins, it'd actually be played on Friday, not Saturday. Meanwhile, here at the Herm, Pacers trail 7. Dearman on the inbound pass to McClellan. And now Bill Bryant steals it right back. He pump fakes. He goes up. He gets it to go. Pacers cut it to 5, and now a foul down in the corner. Big stop and big play by Bill Bryant. Hits the steal on the inbound pass. The pump fake down on the block and gets it to go on the layup attempt. With a minute exactly to go, he's cut it to 5, 84-79. Zaquan Whitmore, second foul of the game. Minute to play, still no John Burwell for the Pacers. As Kevin McClellan Jr. at the line here for the Monarchs. Got a 50% free throw shooter. First shot good. Got to put the Monarchs up 6, still a 2-possession game. Trey Bryant, Cam Ferguson back into the game for Tyrell Jr. and Zaquan Whitmore. Still a minute to go. Pacers trail 6. Second shot from McClellan. Rattles in and out. This one out of bounds, and it's going to go to Methodist. Last puck touched by Tyson Sellers. .8 seconds to go. Zaquan Whitmore and Tyrell Jr. back into the game for Cam Ferguson. And Trey Bryant on the other to come out for the Pacers. They trail by 6. Big possession here for the Pacers defensively with 58.8 seconds to go. Burden on the inbound, looking for an option. He'll find Manley in the corner, left side. Spin move gets away from Bo Bryant. Good move from Manley. He goes up, gets it to go. No whistle. The bucket falls. Pacers now trail 8. 50 seconds to play. Gaylord to Bo Bryant. Bo Bryant into Tyrell Jr. Bucket good. 6-point game. Timeout William Peace. 42.9 seconds to go. As the Pacers will take a full timeout. Pacers not out of this yet. 2-possession game. 42.9 seconds to go, but they have to have a defensive stop on the other end. Meanwhile at Covenant's taken a 3-point 78-75 lead against Maryville in their round 1 game of the USA South tournament. Covenant the 1 seed in the West, Maryville the 4 seed in the West, and the winner of that game will play the winner of this game. 2:08 to go in OT in that one. Covenant leads 3. As now here at the Herm, the Pacers have it down to a 2-possession game. It's been back and forth as Methodist has led most of a half where the Pacers came out to an explosive start, but Methodist took control immediately following, and they've led the whole way this half. They currently lead 6, 87-81. Pacers have to have a stop here with 42.9 seconds to play. Dearman pass into Manley, right back to Dearman. Dearman trapped in the corner, gets to Mingledorf. Mingledorf to Burden, right in front of the crowd on the right side. And now a foul on Gaylord. 33.6 seconds to go, 87-81. That'll send Dante Burden, an 87.6% free throw shooter. Best percentage from the line amongst the starters for Methodist on the season. As his first shot is in, as that'll put Methodist now up 7 with 33.6 seconds to go. And this one rattles in for Burden, so now Methodist leads 8, 33.6. Pacers have to get a bucket here to keep things alive. Gaylord on the right side. Goes up, Gaylord gets it! Pacers now cut it to 6, 24.2 seconds to go. Gaylord, an intentional foul, 21.8 seconds to go, shot clock off. 89-83. Now 2 more shots coming here for Burden. He hit the last 2. As said, one of the top if not the top free throw shooter in the starting lineup here for Methodist. 2 big shots coming up here for Burden. And misses the first. A big miss there in favor of the Pacers. 21.8 seconds remaining. Makes the second 7-point game. 20 seconds to go. 90-83. Pacers have to get a bucket. Bo Bryant juke to the right. Takes a 3 well off. And that's going to be out of bounds. DeAndre Thomas coming in to check in for the Pacers. Jaquan Whitmore will do the same. Jalen Ward. Darius Jackson also checking in for the Pacers. Cam Ferguson checks out. Trey Bryant checks out. 2 of the 5 seniors here for the Pacers. Tyson Sellers checks out as well. 3rd senior of those to check out. As that'll likely be it here for the Pacers as they trail 7 with 12 seconds to go. Methodist ball. Deshaun Mason now checking in from Mikal Gaylor. Another one of the Pacers seniors to check out. Taquan Whitmore, the only remaining Pacer main rotation player, is now 4 of the bench players that haven't seen time yet today are in here for the Pacers. As Burden dribbles around. Whitmore went for the intentional foul, but doesn't get it. And Methodist will move on to the semifinal of the USA South Conference Tournament in a heart-crushing defeat here for the Pacers. By a final score of 90-83, they lose it by 7 as they pushed and pushed and pushed to come back here in the second half. After getting off to an explosive start in the second half, Methodist stole it right back, and the Pacers just brought it on their heels right until the end. Regardless of the outcome here, by far the best season, both statistically and just by the eyeball test, the best season that the Pacers have ever had. They still have yet to get past their barrier of the first round of the conference tournament, as Methodist has taken them out here again in the same fashion that they took them out last year in the same game, same building. Final score of 90-83 here in round 1 between Peace and Methodist. As meanwhile, Covenant leads by 1 with 40 seconds left in OT. So that one's still not a convincing ending able to be predicted at this point. Maryville and Covenant at home for Covenant, 80-79. Number 1 seed in the West Covenant, number 4 seed Maryville. As Methodist will go on to the semifinal round and play the winner of that game. And it'll be played at the home of the higher seed. So that's going to do it here for round 1 here in the Herm of the conference tournament between Peace and Methodist, and it's going to do it for the season here for the men's basketball team and 5 great seniors. It's going to do it here for the Pacer Sports Network. Until next time, goodbye from Raleigh.